back to Talking Time Zones. Today we're taking a day trip to Orlando, but instead of the usual theme parks, we're showing you the local food scene and some fun things to do in and around the city. We made our first stop at the Lakeland Farmers Market. Lakeland is about an hour's drive from Orlando and is a charming town where you'll see tons of brick buildings and a bit of old Florida. The farmers market runs year-round every Saturday with the exception of August and starts at 8 a.m. We stopped at one of our favorite food trucks, Omusubi, for an onigiri or Japanese rice ball. You'll see these numbered tabs to open up the rice ball, which makes it kind of fun to open and keeps the seaweed crispy. I've had a few flavors from this food truck in the past, but the pork belly one I tried on this trip was by far my favorite. If you haven't had a rice ball before, it's a pretty popular food item in Japan. When I lived there, I would usually get them from the convenience store. It's a short grain rice that's usually stuffed with a meat or vegetable and wrapped in seaweed. We love visiting this market on our way to Orlando because they have such a variety of vendors selling anything you can think of. This time we saw homemade pickles, produce, baked goods, handmade jewelry, and international foods. If you're in the Orlando area, stopping at Lakeland Farmers Market lets you see a bit of old Florida charm and shop locally. There's really something for everyone, and it's a great place to stroll, eat, and watch some live music. We're at East End Market, which is a small neighborhood market filled with bakeries, shops, and even a Michelin-star ramen restaurant. Our first stop was Wafu for some Taiyaki. This is a common street food in Japan and is a cake traditionally filled with red bean, custard, or matcha. I've had the red bean flavor from this location before and really enjoyed it, so I went with the matcha this time. We waited about 15 minutes since they're made to order, so it was nice and hot when we got it. Wafu offers both sweet and savory fillings, but if it's your first time trying it, I would definitely go with one of the traditional flavors first. Dochi was next on our list and sells unique flavors of mochi donuts. We bought the Cinnamon Toast Crunch one, and while it was good, we actually liked the Matcha Oreo one much more from a previous trip here. They're not made to order, but they are a fun and unique food to try. Probably seen the famous chocolate chip cookies from Gideon's Bakehouse on social media with extremely long lines at Disney Springs, but the East End Market location is actually its original location. We came around noon on a Saturday, and while the line was a bit long, it did thin out pretty quickly and was still nowhere near the lines you see at Disney Springs. After all of our sweets, we were ready for something savory. We decided to try out Domu, a Michelin-rated restaurant famous for their wings and ramen. We waited about 45 minutes, and I'd recommend getting here early because they will stop seating on the weekends to prep for the dinner hours. The wings here were rated the best wings in Orlando, so we ordered a plate to share, and you guys, they did not disappoint. They were coated in a kimchi butter glaze, but were incredibly crispy. These were easily the best wings I've ever had, and definitely my favorite thing we tried at East End Market. After researching some of the top places for coffee in the Orlando area online, it was pretty clear people agreed Lineage Coffee Roasting was one of the best. We ordered their black iced coffee with a bit of oat milk, and it lived up to the reviews. Not only was the coffee great, but the team here was so friendly, and we ended up stopping to talk with them about coffee in their store for a while. We easily spent 2 hours walking around the market, trying out the food vendors, and hanging out to watch the live music. We enjoyed the local feel of the market and had fun getting to try a variety of foods. Being a Saturday afternoon, it was a bit busy, but we were always able to grab a table somewhere. On the other hand, the parking situation was a bit messy, and we circled a few times before we were able to grab a spot. If the lot is full, there are a few other options listed on their website, like designated overflow parking and parallel street parking, but definitely don't park in front of people's houses near the market or on private property. Overall, we spent about $35 here, got to try a bunch of unique foods, and had a great time walking around the market. So I found this free botanical garden. It's called Mead Botanical Gardens, and it's a really nice spot to just get away from the craziness of Disney. It's really quiet here. It's completely free. There's plenty of parking, and it's just really nice to walk around. Less than 10 minutes from the East End Market is Mead Botanical Garden. This 47-acre garden is completely free for visitors and is the perfect spot to escape the chaos of the Disney area. There's plenty of trails to walk and space for kids to run around and play. They also do tons of free events in the park on the weekends like Tai Chi and yoga. We were really impressed by how much this park offered while being free to the public. We spent about an hour here and didn't even get halfway through. While we mostly stayed on the ground path, there are paved ones around the garden if you have accessibility needs or are pushing a stroller. If you're looking for something outside of the theme parks that lets you experience some of Orlando's nature, I would definitely recommend making some time for the Mead Botanical Garden. Honestly, no trip to Orlando is complete without visiting Disney Springs. There's no entrance fee, parking is free, and there are so many unique shops and restaurants to explore. The complex is split into 4 areas: the West Side, Town Center, the Landing, and Marketplace. We started in Town Center at the Coca-Cola store. It's impossible to miss and actually has a ton of unique things to do inside. The first and second floors were primarily souvenirs, clothing items, and other themed merchandise. We went while they were decorated for Christmas, so there were lots of ornaments and gifts as well. The second floor has some special activities to do, like making a personalized Coca-Cola can. If we drink soda, we definitely would have actually purchased our TTZ-inspired one. The third floor is easily the coolest, with a rooftop cafe serving snacks, mocktails, floats, ices, and their coolest item, the Around the World tray with 16 different international sodas. The rooftop also gives some pretty nice views of Disney Springs from above. As you continue walking through Town Center, you'll find plenty of shops ranging from athletic wear, makeup, designer luxury brands, and more. We stopped in Ever After, which recently opened in Disney Springs. Here you can make your own personalized headband to commemorate your trip. These were super cute, and I'm regretting not making my Winnie the Pooh one. Next, we went to my favorite store in Disney Springs, Uniqlo. There are only 2 in Florida, both of which are in Orlando. This Japanese chain is famous for their heat tech clothing and everyday essentials. Being 2 stories, it's easy to spend a chunk of time here. We didn't spend too much time in the landing portion of the park, but we did see just how long the line at Gideon's was. is where you'll find many popular Disney Springs stores and restaurants like the Lego Store, World of Disney, and the T-Rex Cafe. The busiest store I think in all of Disney Springs had to be the Lego Store, which had a huge line to go inside. You'll also find Rainforest Cafe and the T-Rex Cafe in this area of the complex, which are both such unique restaurants that the family will love. I've been to both of these restaurants and the atmosphere really is cool with the themed areas within each one, so you can always see something new. Of course, when you go to these places, the atmosphere is really the star of the show, and though I was never blown away by the food, I was never disappointed by it either. Our final stop was the World of Disney store, which is filled with all sorts of themed merchandise like plushies, clothing, homeware, jewelry, gifts, and so much more. They had just started to introduce the winter and Christmas items when we went there, so there were tons of ornaments and other seasonal items to purchase. We didn't stay overnight during this trip, but if you're looking for hotel recommendations, our favorite hotel by far in Orlando is the JW Bonnet Creek Resort. It's pretty new, always very clean, and they also have shuttles going to Disney Springs and the parks if you happen to be visiting them on your trip. We have a whole short on it on our channel you can check out. Please leave a like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.